This is where the main story comes in. First off, let me just get this out of the way. Jason's in hell. How do we get out? The whole film was called Freddy Goes to Hell. Jason Goes to Hell, sorry. How the hell does he get out of hell? I want to know this. Tell me. Somebody. Write in the comments if you know. Laurie Campbell from the Friday the 13th movies moves to 1428 Elm Street with her father. She's visited by friends Kia, Gib, Trey, and Blake. They plan to spend the night at her house. Trey is killed by Jason stabbing him in the back while Gib is in the shower. Okay. The main way Jason gets into a place is by breaking a window or knocking down a door. How the hell did he get in without anyone realizing he was there? Someone, please tell me. The gruesome murder and the fact that it happened in bed, as police speculate that it was Freddy who killed him. Laurie overhears this name, and while at the police station, she has a nightmare where she is scared by Freddy. Later, Blake has a nightmare where Freddy tries to attack him, but he escapes unharmed, as Freddy is not powerful enough to kill him yet. If you haven't seen the movie, in this scene, we see Freddy use his shadow to actually try to attack, and it just passes straight through the boy. Not really a smart plan using your shadow to kill someone. As I've learned, that's not very effective. He wakes to discover his father beheaded beside him before Jason appears and kills him as well. Okay, this I can understand. The boy was asleep, and they're on the front porch, so Jason can easily sneak up and kill him. Because even though he's a lumbering zombie, he still is quiet enough. He still has some mental faction about him. The next day, the murders are blamed on Blake, who state committed suicide afterwards. Logical explanation. I mean, he was the only one there when his father was beheaded, and his father obviously didn't behead himself. So it's safe to assume that Blake killed his father, although there was never any suggestion that he hated his father enough to kill him. At Western Hill Psychiatric Hospital, Laurie's ex-boyfriend, Will Rollins, and his friend Mark are patients being fed Hypnocil to suppress their dreams, as being the last of the people who had contact with Freddy. Will suspects that he was sent there after seeing Laurie's father murdering his wife. After seeing a newspaper report of the murders, Mark concocts the plan that allows the two of them to escape. They return to Springwood. Mark abruptly tells Laurie and the others about Freddy. Then later realize the city's plan of erasing Freddy by making a population forget about him, and that he may have seriously ruined the plan. Good going, Will. You seriously screwed up this time. In all fairness, this was actually a decent plan of the people to get rid of Freddy by suppressing dreams so that Freddy could not actually enter them to hurt the children. If they had have told Will and Mark what was going on, then maybe it wouldn't have been so bad. That night, Laurie and the others attend a rave located in a cornfield. Gib, after drinking much while grieving over Trey's death, sees him and follows him into an abandoned silo, which turns out to be a trap by Freddy, as he is about to kill her. Jason, who has invaded the rave and was killing left and right, kills her in the real world. Robbed of his victim, Freddy realizes that Jason will not stop killing. Yes, you couldn't have guessed that from his previous crimes, where he killed every known witness that was at Crystal Lake campgrounds. Seriously, I know you're in hell, but you can still do the research on this thing. You knew who Jason was and what he was capable of, yet you did not realize that he would not stop until they were all dead, until he died. Freddy, 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 you are an idiot. Lindemann, a classmate who has a crush on Kia, and Stona Freeberg, escaped the rave unharmed along with Laurie. Laurie approaches her father about her mother's death and traps him in a lie. After she leaves the house, she and Will go to Mark's house only to discover, to their horror, that he has been attacked by Freddy, who burns and then slashes Mark's face with its bladed glove. Meanwhile, Deputy Stubbs suspects a copycat Jason murderer, but his suspicions fall on deaf ears. This guy, Deputy Stubbs, he's the only one who has some brains about him to see if this is related to any other crimes, not just and makes suspect that that Freddy is the one responsible. He did realize that the murders eerily were similar to the Crystal Lake campground murders, and he was right in suspecting that it might have been a copycat because, well, for all he knew, Jason was dead and could not be revived. He then approaches Laurie and her friends. Lindemann realizes that Jason was real, with two killers hunting them. There seems to be nothing they can do until they learn about the hydrocell at Weston Hills. They go to the hospital to obtain a supply of Hypnocil, but Freddy possesses Freeberg to dispose of the drugs via pouring them down a sink. After Jason electrocutes Stubbs, he is tranquilized by the Freddy-possessed Freeberg, who he promptly cuts in half before succumbing to the drugs. And I thought his accelerated healing factor would prevent him from being knocked out by tranquilizers. That's horror movie writing for you. Never get the facts straight. And it was clever of Freddy to get rid of the Hypnocil, because it is the only thing that could stop him from entering a dream state. That I'm not believing, but they believe now. The group take Jason to Crystal Lake to give him the home field advantage, and should he defeat Freddy there, he'll already be back at his home, and thus not come after the teams. That is actually a clever plan. Once he goes back to Crystal Lake, what's to keep him going back to Springwood? Well, nothing really. He is, single-minded, only focusing on the task at hand and killing the teens who are in his present location. And without Freddy's influence to get him to Springwood, he wouldn't have gone there in the first place. In the dream world, however, Freddy fights him with the indestructible Jason due to the latter's compatibility of slaughtering non-stop, and at this point the latter realizes he was deceived. This is actually a pretty funny scene, because in one instance, Freddy starts bouncing Jason around like a ping pong ball, like a pinball. Just bounce, 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 bounce. Then Jason goes to cut off Freddy's arms, which is a clever move, because, well, again, he has blades on his hands, so... But Freddy's arms automatically grow right back. This leads, however, to Freddy discovering Jason has a fear of water, although this never seemed to affect him in the other movies, considering he lives near a lake. And Freddy uses this to pull Jason into a nightmare of him drowning again. Okay, now this is just cruel on Freddy's part. Seeing that this isn't going very well, Laurie enters the dream world to keep Jason from dying, and manages to stop Freddy for Jason to wake up and attack everyone. Really not a smart move. Okay, I understand wanting Jason to beat Freddy on a home field advantage, but inadvertently waking him up really wasn't smart. Anyway, Freddy is angered by this and attacks Laurie. This then reveals the fact that it was Freddy who killed her mother and not her father. In the real world, Jason hunts the others through Crystal Lake, and the cabin they were hiding is set on fire. Lindemann is Lindemann is mortally wounded in the process, and Laurie's hand is dragged through some flames, which causes her to wake up as she is resting with Krieger, who she drags out with her, because that is actually an effect of his power. If he is holding onto you as you wake up, he is dragged into the real world. It does not dampen his power, however. Jason seems to have an advantage with this, with his incredible strength, and Freddy's fear of fire. But Freddy keeps ahead of him with his speed and agility. Lindemann sends Kaya to help the others and dies